It was good, everybody. I'm gonna do all signs collective reading. Just kind of tapping into the energy. It's been interesting with this whole Lionsgate. At first I was like, I didn't really feel affected by it, but then I did have a few interesting dreams and all that other stuff. A few interesting visions. So yeah, I just want to see what the energy is. I think it's still Leo season, right? So I'm gonna start off with Leo. And then we'll just go from there, right? So I'm starting with my Book of Oracle deck, right? Which this week I have to finish this book, right? Because I've been working on this Book of Oracle deck, and I mean it's done. I just got to finish the book, right? So, whoa, okay. So Leo, I guess we're off to a good start. 55, divine balance. So maybe right now at this time, whether you're male, female, doesn't matter. You're in this kind of perfect balance right now, right? You're very balanced within your masculine and feminine side. Maybe that was a big, I don't want to say activation because I feel like maybe you already went through the portal with that, right? Just like it was an 8-8. I know they're saying 8-8-8, right? But regardless, the 8-8, right? So 5-5, which adds up to 10, very balanced, right? Regardless. So that's pretty interesting. So let's find out what else. I guess if you're in this perfect balance, Leo, there might not be a whole lot to say for this week. Maybe this week is you're just balanced, right? What else? Maybe there's not a whole lot. Wow, congratulations. Congratulations, you're the drama, so I don't know. But it doesn't feel this feels like a literal congratulations right now. Just because of that. I don't know, but let's find out. That's funny. Maybe people are thinking you're being dramatic because not every text deserves a response. Maybe you're ignoring people, and because of that, you're actually in divine balance, and people are thinking, oh, you're being dramatic or this or that because you're not replying, but they don't realize you've just stepped into your power. That's why. So people might think that, yeah, because I'm telling you, it literally felt like an actual congratulations, which was weird, right? Like, that's part of reading the cards intuitively, right? As opposed to just like textbook kind of, you know what I mean? So that's pretty funny. So people might be, you know, perceiving you like if you're being, dramatic or overly defensive or something, but it's just, hey, you have healthy boundaries, which is beautiful. I like that. Okay, let me make sure all the cards are right. Yeah, yeah, I like that for sure. Oh, okay. I don't know why they came out like that. That was weird. Okay. So, let's see what else. What else for Leo? What else for Leo? I mean, it flipped over. Let me see. If I flipped over, it fell back in. What else for Leo? Wow. Okay. Maybe you're being generous at this time, right? You're giving because there's prosperity, right? Divine balance. So it's bringing in prosperity. Your heart chakra feels very balanced, very healthy. So it's even helping you out. Whoa. Okay. Wow. It came out again. This is the one that had wanted to come out. So maybe you can see the vision right now. You can see the big picture, making plans, new experiences, looking towards the future, planning and ready. It's funny because it's like you're standing still, but at the same time you grab the wand already. Like, wow, oh my goodness. Victory, and there you are, Leo. Victory and the 10 of Pentacles. I mean 10 of, wow, maybe 10 of Pentacles too, right? 10 of Cups. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, Leo. Happy birthday to you. Wow, as I split the deck. Uh-oh. Let's see if that comes back out. So interesting. Wow. Okay. Celebration. Yeah. So, when I split the deck, it was basically that. It looks like obviously when you're happy, others aren't kind of situation, right? Which, you know, and yeah, that came out in the first card. So I could have shown it, but regardless, right? It was that energy of, but why? Why? You know what I mean? That's all I could say. Why would anyone be unhappy if you're happy, right? That's something that someone has to work out for themselves. But celebration, wow. So maybe you're being celebrated right now. There's been things that have been victorious. Look it as I split. What did I say earlier? Ten of Pentacles. Oh shoot, Ten of Pentacles and the Lovers, and that's the card that came out. The Lovers was on one side, the Five of Cups on the other. So I got that kind of energy of right as you're choosing to be happy, prosperous, all this stuff. Other people are like not happy, maybe because of that, right? Because you have healthy boundaries. Others are seeing you as being dramatic. But look at Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. The celebration, victory, like, man, divine balance. But that's the main thing. I think over all of this, people might just see, like, oh, but the main thing was the divine balance, right? Like, it takes a lot to get to that point of where you can be in perfect balance with your masculine and feminine energy. Most people don't understand how to get there, right? Whether it's your male or female, right? People may think they are, but it's a whole different story, right? When you actually come into balance with both your masculine and feminine energy, right? And I just got chills as I said that, so I know what I'm saying. They're kind of giving it that stamp of approval. So, yeah, this feels like definitely not your energy, right? Some, you know, others might have their own thing going. And if this is you, well, I wouldn't see how that's possible with all these other cards. But hey, if there's a Leo out there that's stuck on something, then you better snap out of it. Because if you miss all that, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to tell you, right? But yeah. If others have their own things going for them and they're choosing to stay stuck, what can you do, right? It's almost like that's definitely yeah, see, there might be others that want to be in conflict, right? Maybe you're right here, the star, right? Being the star, and others want to fight. And there you are, Leo. They want to fight you for some weird reason. But yeah, let me see. I don't want to, because it feels like this is really to the point. So just be careful with your energy this week, right? If this is the weekly forecast, then yeah, definitely just be careful with it. Don't get sucked into drama that's not yours, right? People, wow, my whole heart just felt refreshed. So that's a super strong message for Leos out there, right? It came out again. Okay. Yeah, the choice is the choice. It's a choice, right? Definitely. Cause yeah, I guess that was there when I split the deck, right? So this is interesting because it almost feels like someone might even come towards you like they got it figured out. Hey, we could do things together, but it's all a mask, right? They're really in this kind of state. So they're really more seeing what they could get out of you, but they might be coming, well, yeah. So there's gonna be someone deceptive, which I think the best thing is to just stay in your lane, do what you're doing, right? And on the flip side, see, there might be someone looking at you as a financial opportunity. Someone else is looking at you like in a lustful kind of way, right? That's what I'm getting from this fiery energy. Just someone having kind of a, yeah, yeah, like the loins just wanting to get refreshed or whatever you want to put that, right? Okay, so let's keep it moving along. Interesting read this week. Wow. Saturn. I don't know if that's you going through, I know Saturn's in retrograde and that means all kinds of, I've heard the word upheaval for certain people and for others. It's a good time, right? Maybe because it's just your turn or or you've done the work. Take it out resonates. Wisdom, though, that really is standing out to me, right? Discipline, structure, time, responsibility, test, ambition, difficulty, restraint, grounding, practicality, self control, tradition, realism, container, bones, maturity, gravity, scaffolding. Wow. So, yeah. What else? I don't know. That got me excited. Not like that really got me excited, right? Like, I guess it's an amazing time to be a Leo. These numbers, my nine, right? Because endings to things, right? Maybe six, right? Maybe you're August 6th. August is today August 9th? Yeah, it is. August 9th. Maybe today was your birthday. Happy birthday. Maybe 63 is important. 6th, August 6th, August 3rd, August 9th, 63, 36. Maybe you're 36. Who knows? Or those numbers are significant. And on that note, okay, thank you, Leo. I'll move on to Aries, right? Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. I like this reading so far, right? You just hit the ground running with it. So let's see if everyone else is gonna be as lucky as Leo this week. Okay, so starting with my Book of O Oracle deck. Wow, interesting. So Aries, you might be going through a literal death and rebirth when death smiles. For me, this is a positive card always, right? Because it's a death and rebirth, right? It means that something wasn't working. It's almost like the universe had to step in because maybe you weren't understanding. You know how this universe or world works, right? Some people are more stubborn than others in this reality. And yeah, it's almost like it steps in, right? It's almost like it's not as harsh really as the tower, not for me. Death, right? The death card. And that's kind of what, this one's similar to me actually it ended up being because to me literally death appeared to me, right? It literally appeared to me and it smiled and I was like, all right, whatever, and I kind of yeah, it was actually a huge blessing, right, in disguise. So, um that's that. Let's see what else wants to come out for you. And who knows, maybe like when it appeared to me, I was in my 20s. So I don't know how old you are, right? But whatever you're going through in life, it's a chance to do a whole death and rebirth kind of thing. Yeah, maybe you were in a relationship, right, with somebody and it really wasn't look at not aligned, right? So maybe that was a thing. It was all based on, sex or physical attractions, nothing deep, right? So just because they're hot doesn't mean they're spiritually aligned. So that could be the death you're going through, death and rebirth. Now take it how it resonates because I know yeah, wow. It's funny that the word sex is in there, semi-sextile, allowing, right? So be allowing for the universe to work in your favor. It's trying to help you, right? With all those stars, right? Encourages, sees the potential and sees, and that's what I was gonna say. If they're seeing, that means that they see you as better than that, right? That's the thing, is like, it's not an insult that someone sees you better than something, right? So encourages, sees the potential and clarifies, gives hope to, compensates into its tempers, response cycles, grows, realizes rewards, right? So I mean, it's almost like they would reward you for listening, basically, right? For wow. These cards fell down and underneath is the death card again. So I'm not gonna take it right now, but that was pretty interesting. I think that's just double confirmation, double or whatever. Yeah, it's double confirmation. Wow. Yeah, so maybe it did come to an abrupt ending, right? This situation where you were with somebody, but it was very surface level. Maybe you haven't even processed it. And that's why. they're stepping in, right? Because nine and nine, so nine is endings, Um, you're up in your head. Maybe right now you're in your up in your head moment, not understanding what happened, but it's like if they stepped in because, so now it's time for you to reflect on really understanding, like, what was it, right? Did you even really care about this situation, right? It could have been a job, I guess, a surface level kind of. Maybe you were at a job because you liked the prestige about it, but you were miserable or something, right? Like the title, oh, I was this, or I was I mean, I've met people that have done jobs that they weren't happy at, right? But so I'll just leave it at that. Whatever the job, it probably had a title to it, and something like that, or that, right? If it was a relationship, now it's time for hermit mode, right? Something had to step in, and that's that. Okay, what else? And then, wow, let me, wow, okay. Yeah, I feel there's a redirection, right? Let me see. Is this? Oh, wow. Okay. I spoke too soon, I think. Oh, okay. The hermit mode. I get it. Hermit mode. I get it. Yeah, okay. Wow, okay. Okay, I get it. Um, I think that's part of this hermit mode, right? Really understanding why you were so obsessed with believing that this was your 10 of cups. That's part of like the homework, right? Really understanding where that obsession was, right? And they said it in the first thing, right? That's why they said not aligned, right? Just picture, I mean, imagine like as a parent, y- you would be able to, and I'm saying as a parent because it's almost like something watching over you, like they're a parent, but it's not that. They're just looking out for you, right? And they can see that you're approaching the cliff from you know, and it's almost like that. Like if you were driving in a car towards a cliff, they'd give you that flat tire and you'd swerve and probably, yeah, maybe you'd even hit a tree, but or go off a little ditch, but you didn't see that you were about to fall off a cliff, right? Or they can see all the steps, right? It's amazing the amount of help we get from the other side, but people just don't. But the devil showed up, right? So there was something that made you really think, right? That this was your right. And here's the Capricorn again. Maybe you have Capricorn in your chart, right? And that's part of it. Like it was really like, no, this is kind of like the marriage, right? That's the way this card's coming out right now, like a union, right? Because there's this couple looking. Ah, man, this is an interesting read, but ultimately, right? Whoever had to walk away, that's part of the whole thing. And there's that eight, right? Like the karmic lesson to that, right? And there's the eight again, 8-8. So maybe that was part of the 8-8 Lionsgate, right? Because these are the two last cards that came out. It could be in like that thing to go work on yourself, go work on, focus on work for the moment and stop you know, thinking in that way, right? I'm gonna pull one more just because I don't think it needs. I feel like, yeah, I know you're smart enough to understand the lesson there. It's strong, that. The devil is always about like addictions and things, right? Like those chains. It's like imagine like who leaves chains on themselves willingly? And that's most people, right? All the things that causes any kind of grief in this reality, it's really us. Like there really is no, whoever designed the tarot is so smart, just brilliant, really, to know that the human nature, right? All the things, right? Whether we become addicted to food, addicted to, sex, addicted to substances, all these things we excess and then it causes us harm, right? So that's kind of the lesson there, really. There is no other, something wasn't, yeah, looking, and then you're just stuck in the, right? So maybe there's that energy right now, Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, right? A lot of trouble, but that's why you're being asked to go into a hermit mode and really figure it out. And you'll see that it was more of an addiction or something than what you thought it was. That's what I'm getting there. So let's just go. Cause yeah, that's a little heavy. I know. Yeah, look at 3-3. Wow, 33. Maybe you're meant for more, right? What's 33? 33 is the master teacher. Maybe from this experience, that's why it's like a death and rebirth, right? You can always teach others from your experiences if you're willing to become that. If you're willing to allowing spirit to use you in a good way, you can then teach others from your experiences, right? 33. So maybe you're April 3rd, April 6th, right? Maybe you're 33, something like that. Okay, so let's keep it moving. That's Aries, Taurus. Okay, so Taurus now. Hmm. Taurus, Taurus. Wow, Taurus. I don't know what you've been going through, but the good news is help is on the way. 32. So Taurus 32, help is on the way. I love it, right? So maybe you've been praying, right? 32 is the number of change. So maybe you've been praying, asking for help. And so it looks like, hey, prayer is answered, right? Maybe you're about to get some divine help. Wow. See, they want you to be optimistic. Wow. The world after a Three of Swords. So maybe you literally had a heartbreak, that really was the end of a cycle, right? 3-3 again, right? This is three. There's a three. Maybe you're the same, right? You're meant to teach from this experience, right? They want you to be optimistic at this time. It's almost like, yeah, maybe you're in Aries cusper because it's funny that, yeah, the world came out. So you really closed out. Like there's no going back at that point, right? That's why they want you to be optimistic. And maybe right now you're stressed out, but help is on the way, right? Pisces. Does Pisces? No, Pisces is not with Taurus, right? Imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, ephemeral, enigmatic, spiritual, emotional, escapist, impractical, oceanic, self-pitying, illogical. Pisces. Maybe you have Pisces in your chart. Maybe they're asking you to step into that right now, right? Trust, be a little more mystical, right? Because I know Taurus is a fixed sign, right? So a lot of times it's hard if you already have your view of the world to kind of shake that up, right? Once you already have that for Taurus, you seem to get stuck in those ways, be a little stubborn. That was so funny because the car literally did a whole flip, but I don't know. I don't want to take it because it did a whole flip. I didn't even see what it was. That was funny. Um, okay. Wow. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's why they're trying to tell you help is on the way. Your higher self is drinking tea and watching you spiral. But maybe that, maybe there was a connection that it wasn't reciprocal, right? Not worth saving. You were trying to save people, but hey, they didn't want you to save them, right? I don't know why that was causing you stress, right? You thought it was your responsibility, but there's a level up. That's why it's funny. Maybe because you finally, well, yeah, the world. So you finally closed it or they closed it or something, but you let it be and you understand and leveling up, right? Congratulations, you've leveled up. That's pretty interesting. So, well, I guess that could be this week, right? Because yeah, I forgot. Wow, I love the wow. I just realized that pattern, right? Because the first with Leo it was 55. With Aries it was 33, I believe, right? With you now it's 44, 8, right? So maybe you're May 4th, May 8th, maybe you're 44. That's amazing. There's so much balance there. I don't think maybe that's the theme this week, right? After this Lionsgate, people are really way more balanced than they realize it. And yeah, because of all these things going on, I feel like the universe is really helping behind the scenes and maybe people aren't realizing it yet, but if you aren't, I'm sure it's gonna show up, especially maybe after watching this reading, you'll realize like, oh wow, there's a lot of divine intervention or help or guidance going on. Okay, so Taurus, Gemini, right? So let's see, Gemini. Whoa, I love it. Gemini, something familiar. Six. There's something right now that feels very familiar to you. Maybe there's a connection coming in. Maybe there's time being spent with family. Maybe your culture, roots. Wow, and the sun, right? That's amazing. Maybe getting out in the sun will activate these hidden memories, right? Gemini. Okay, let me see. Wow, maybe right now you're just working away. Gemini, Gemini. I think they want you to be optimistic, but maybe you hadn't been. Whoa, that one flew that. The other cards were flying that way, but this one, see, because after that, something familiar, maybe work, maybe going back to something familiar for work, right? The optimism came out sideways, so maybe right now you're kind of just like bleh about whatever, and they're asking you to. I feel like they want you to be optimistic, right? Wow, maybe there was a judgment you were waiting for, and the judgment's coming in, right? So maybe that's why, right? Maybe there was something that you weren't feeling optimistic, like, hey, what's going on here? Like, this isn't fair, this isn't just, and now the right, the angels are stepping in, like, hey, there's a little, yeah, almost like a little death and rebirth kind of thing, but there's a judgment, right? It feels like it's going in your favor, really. Whatever you were dealing with, right? That maybe you felt like, hey, the universe isn't even stepping in, right? Maybe you're a cusper with Taurus, the way help is on the way. Maybe that finally they're telling you no, help is on the way, right? Wow, that's funny because these cards never really. Wow, okay. Well, I don't have to read it in reverse. It almost felt like this wanted to come out in reverse, but let's just say it, even if it came out this way, your aura is a little crusty, right? It came out like this, but I don't know. I mean, you could read it in reverse, I guess, but regardless, it's like they definitely want you to, because maybe that, right? Maybe you were just focused, you were helping others, right? And it's okay. They want you to know that, right? you weren't a main character in their story, so it doesn't matter. That's probably why the judgment, right? Because for whatever reason, I'm trying to cover up there's a judgment with that, right? Maybe you were dealing with someone or others that yeah, just wanted you to kind of help them build their empire, help them build their situation. But it feels like, yeah, maybe that's why you're going back to something familiar. Like, you know what? I tried going along with other people's stories and this and that. Now it's time to get back to what I know how to do, right? Or being around people you feel comfortable around, right? That kind of stuff. And yeah, make sure you take a nap. Maybe you even need a break from everything, right? Maybe you need to take a break from readings and this and that and just go to sleep, rest, right? Spend some me time. Maybe just give a break to everything, right? The crystals, the tarot, the astrology. At least for a week, maybe try it. Maybe fast from something for like a whole week. My dice fell. I don't know where it's at, so maybe I'll just have to roll twice for you, Gemini. So yeah, let me see what else. I got that. Uh-oh, I don't know if I got this for Taurus, but I probably did. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Now I'm like, well, shoot, maybe I should just end the reading now and give it a break. Wow, sextile opportunity. So maybe an opportunity is gonna come in this week with something familiar. Collaborates, assists, explains, provides opportunities, synergizes, creates possibilities for open doors, promises, brings insight to, communicates, welcomes, develops. So maybe there's gonna be something that, right? It's gonna seem like out of nowhere. It's funny because I don't know why that thing almost looked like the Statue of Liberty for me right now. And that feels like very judgment, right? Like something, right? Like the way the freedom kind of thing. So that's interesting. Let me see. I'll pull one more just to see what else wants to come out. And wow, okay. So yeah, maybe there's something. Well, six, right? So six, something familiar. Six, maybe that's your birthday. 6 6. Maybe you're moving towards something. Um, yeah, towards calmer waters and something that right? That you feel better being around. And there it is at Y. You can't even make that up. 6 6 6 6 is all about balance, right? Like that's kind of what it is when you see the angel number 666. It's kind of like balance your thoughts, right? You could be in a situation that's not the best for you, so get away from that, right? Like literally like 666, like that's get away from that evil stuff, right? So 6 and 3, wow, 6 and 3. So your birthday could be 6 6 6 3 6 9, right? So that's pretty interesting. It could be 36 could be significant, 63. So okay, on that note, I'll move on to who's that? Gemini Cancer. All right. Try to go a little faster. Let me see. What else? Cancer. Okay. Cancer. So Cancer. Let me see. Let me see. Wow. Cancer. That's interesting. Maybe right now you're high vibing, right? You're feeling great. Number 7. So maybe you're seeing things even, right? You're in a whole nother reality dimension because you're just feeling great right now. Whoa, that one just flew out. Why? Okay. Maybe you're so happy people want to pick fights with you. Oh wow, look at the 5 of Wands, and then there you are, Cancer. Maybe you've recently come into some kind of connection and people are angry about it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Whoa. Hmm. Maybe you've recently moved away from King of Cups, or you're going towards the King of Cups. Let me see. Is Cancer moving towards a King of Cups? Okay, so maybe you're going towards the King of Cups. Maybe you met, possibly a Pisces, right? You're taking a leap of faith. Maybe that's a new connection. Someone's upset about it. Maybe a Leo, who knows? But you have some kind of new connection that has you high vibing, but others might be mad about it, right? So let's see what else. Wow, Taurus, yeah, maybe you're feeling it, right? Maybe this person you're connecting with makes you feel all the feels, makes you feel um like yeah, the whole love, like sexy, whatever, right? Like earthy, practical, steadfast, productive, fertile. Maybe that you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind knocking this person up or getting knocked up by this person. Fertile, tactile, ample, worthy, right, pleasure seeking, sensuous, blooming, solid, possessive, tenacious, loyal, patient, deliberate. So, yeah, maybe you're moving towards this person with a lot of intention. Someone else doesn't like it for some reason. They're not happy about it, but hey, for you, like you feel good. So, you're high vibing. That's the first thing, right? And it feels like very divinely guided. Whatever happened, maybe someone didn't know how to treat you. And yeah, you move towards something else, right? This is different. Maybe this person, the person you're moving towards, isn't. Maybe the person from the past was someone that made you. And there's that five, right? The five, and it was a five of wands, like the conflict. Maybe in the past, this person had you. Like you would have to second guess everything, right? Like you didn't know where you stood with this person. Everything was, maybe that even you were like an irritated person, right? You felt like even your intuition was off. But now it's like everything just feels like boom, and someone's upset about it. So I feel like that message is really clear. Okay, so first we got 6 for you, Cancer, and 4. So 10 complete. Feels like something's complete. You're moving forward. Maybe your birthday is July 4th, July 6th, right? Maybe July 10th. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like this week, yeah, you're moving towards something that you're very clear about, right? Possibly, yeah, like a King of Cups type energy, all that good stuff. Or maybe you're in that King of Cups energy, even though it did look like that was someone else's energy. So, okay, Cancer. Who's next? Cancer. Well, we already did Leo, Virgo. Okay, here we go. Virgo. Hey, Jocelyn. Oh, thank you for joining us from Australia. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, I said that right. But yeah, yeah. Thank you for joining. I'm on Virgo right now. I started with Leo. I did Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and now I'm on Virgo. So going into Virgo. Hope you're doing well. Wow. Okay. So right now for Virgo, 50. You've ascended. Don't play small, right? Maybe there's something you've reached, right? When because obviously this deck is based on things I've experienced, right? And that's what happened, right? And there was a dream I had once Where in the dream, right, I was meditating and there was others with me, and I started floating up to the ceiling, and then the person that was with me, right, they're like looking up at me like, well, I can't do that, right? And I remember looking down and it was like I brought myself down to be at their level instead of them coming up to meet me like what I had elevated to, right? And so I think that was a lesson that I didn't really understand. At the moment, I thought like, oh, I was meant to, like, what's the point of being up there if others can't go with you? So you have to bring yourself back down. So it was funny that when that first happened, I thought of it like that. When it was the opposite, right? It's like others should, I mean, it depends, right? Obviously, but I would think that, right? But that's clearly the message right now. So Virgo, you've ascended, don't play small, right? That's the message. Wow. So yeah, seems like others might not be happy, right? They're like, no, no, right? Like stay with us kind of situation. There's the five again, right? Five, five, see the number of change. We have the four, right? Wow, there's a lot of that energy. So someone's not happy about, maybe you don't feel familiar anymore to them, right? And they got their own thing going, right? But they're stuck on that, right? They're stuck on the way things were for some reason, right? Virgo, 5 o'clock. I hope this doesn't feel like it's your energy, because how, why would it be you've ascended, don't play small, right? And if you've ascended, there's no way you'd be getting the 5 of cups, 4 of cups, 5 of pentacles, right? So it feels like it's someone's energy that, yeah, like right now the sun is shining for you. Like you completed something, right? 19 obviously adds up to 10. So it feels like for you, Virgo, right now, things are, yeah, maybe that's it. You've outgrown certain situations. Maybe someone feels betrayed by your ascension, which is weird, right? Because that energy is just coming through so strongly. And there you are, Virgo. Maybe you're in this kind of Queen of Pentacles, right? Things are flowing more abundantly, right? And it doesn't have to be financial. Maybe you're just so happy or in a good place that it's triggering others, right? Things like that. But with the third eye, you have a clear vision of where you want to go and what you want to do. So, right. And yeah, even the Two of Wands with the world right in the palm of your hands, like, you've grabbed the wand, you're gonna walk towards that Queen of Pentacles. I mean, I feel like you're already in this energy, but I don't know. There's something you've decided to walk towards, right? Maybe it is a new relationship. Maybe part of this is because you walked away from someone or a job or something, right? But there's definitely a choice you made, right? Where you're like, you feel like that would be the world in the palm of your hands, right? Like something. It's, oh, wow. I didn't even see that. That's crazy. So yeah, maybe it's like a, kind of like a perfect union, right? Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and someone isn't happy about that. So that's amazing. Okay. Let me see. So we got that. That's crazy. That whole story just came out like on its own, really. That was pretty interesting. Wow, and I felt refreshed here on my throat. Maybe you told someone straight out, right? And it felt good just to get it out, just to get it like, hey, like this situation's done. I'm going towards this. Maybe you even said it out loud. And for you, yeah, because my throat, wow, that felt so like refreshing, right? Like eucalyptus on the throat or something. Wow. So yeah, thank you for letting me tap into that energy because I felt amazing. Wow. Yeah, maybe they see you like this now. You're like that's why it's like you've ascended, so they feel like you're an alien now or something, right? Virgo irritates, puzzles, mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes, misses the mark, requires translation, adjusts, makes curious, educates, transforms, right? And others, yeah, they don't want to transform, right? So it's irritating and it feels like too much work or something, right? And it's funny that these words are just coming out. And I think the last reading I did for you, I was stumbling with my words, and now all of a sudden the words are just flowing like maybe, yeah, during okay, so we got a two, so maybe your birthday's September 2nd, and then we got a one. So maybe September 2nd, September 1st, September 3rd, right? Yeah. So maybe 21 might be significant, right? Ah, who knows? Maybe you're into gambling. I don't know, but or maybe you played something and you won, right? There, you took a gamble, you won, and now you feel great. Okay, why am I about to shuffle cards again? Okay, so that's it for you, Virgo. Let me see, Libra. Okay, so Libra, Libra, Libra. Let me see, Libra. Wow, so Libra. Interesting. Wow, my throat got tight. So what was that about? Libra, maybe there's a divine union coming in, written in the stars, 46, right? Which is 10. Maybe Libras right now are written in the stars. I don't know. Wow, but it's funny that my throat got tight with that. So why is there a Libra written in the stars? Pretty interesting. Libra written in the stars. What? So I'm getting a lot of those energies today with the readings. It's like half is like what's written in the store? Libra, why? Someone's not happy about it, right? There's like a again, right? The Five of Pentacles, celebration in reverse, the Temperance Angel, right? I almost feel like with the Temperance Angel, it always gives me like divine intervention for something, right? Like something made this happen because it was time, right? One and four is five. Something had to step in, right, to cause this divine union because I almost feel look at four of wands because someone I almost feel like someone was trying to stop it. Someone was trying to stop a divine union. Libra. I feel like you made a choice. I'm getting chills on yeah, like action, right? Masculine energy. You decided to take action and leave towards something, right? Man, it's crazy that people behind the scenes try to work with energies, right? Like try to manipulate energies because I got chills down my back. Like there was interference, right? Like someone was trying to interfere with this union. Interesting. So interesting. I think you're the, wow. Maybe you find it, maybe a lot of it was you. Okay, let me find out. Is this Libra? Is this Libra? Yeah, wow. So maybe in the past, right? Maybe you were just too compassionate, Libra, and because of that, you would entertain people, try to see the best in people, right? But the vibes are off because you keep inviting goblins to dinner, right? So you kept, I don't know. You kept doing that and then probably wondered why, right? Why things weren't working out with these past people, right? And it was almost like you were being tested, but you kept failing these tests, right? Because that's so weird, right? Because you were meant for more, right? Like, love is Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So it's like maybe you're meant to be an example of love for others in this lifetime. Look at all these lessons were meant to teach you something, right? Balance, to make you look in the mirror, right? Like to see the shadow aspects of that, right? Relates, mirrors, interacts, confronts, makes conscious, manifests, disciplines, conflicts with, tests, objectifies, calls out. Balance, right? So, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting energy. Let me see. Let me pull one more just because I want to understand what else. Because it's crazy to go just bam, written in the stars. So, how do you come into this divine union? Like, well, maybe it's too long of a story for me to. It just feels like that. Like, you kept making these wrong choices, but it was almost like, okay, it just made sense. It just made sense. Wow. Three of Swords. I almost feel like at one point there was a extreme heartbreak that then maybe it was with you know, Aries. It came out sideways, right? So it was someone that was like, I don't know. Somehow this person messed with your energy. It's like that. Like, I mean, I hate because yeah, you should never give someone power like that. But almost like when someone tries to say, "Oh, this person ruined me for everybody" or something like that. But it should never be that. But some people believe it so much that then it becomes a part of their reality, right? So no one should feel that. But hey, I feel like whatever happened, that was kind of your story, Libra. There was a significant heartbreak that, and I think the next union you're supposed to come into is this divine union. And maybe you're finally getting it. I'm kind of feeling like that's the thing. Maybe this Lion's Gate, you finally walk through this portal of leaving that past trauma in the past, right? And letting it go so you can walk towards something. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting there. So, yeah, that's interesting. Let me see. So maybe you're October 2nd, October 5th. So there's seven, right? So definitely something divinely, like a divine intervention kind of thing. I feel like with the 7th. So maybe you're October 7th, October 5th, October 2nd, right? Maybe you're 25, 52. Maybe those numbers are significant, right? So, yeah, okay. That's it. Moving on to Scorpio. Wow. So Scorpio. I don't think this card has came out since has it? Since I've been doing these readings with my deck. I don't think it's came out, but 42, mentor, teach the youth. Maybe you're meant to teach the youth. Uh Scorpio, maybe you're into your culture, right? Mentor, teach the youth. Maybe you work with kids, right? Maybe you're a teacher, educator, right? Maybe you counsel, right? Like a counselor, something, right? You work with troubled youth or something like that. 42. It's a powerful number, right? The 42 laws of Ma'at. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Wow. I love it. 42. So that's pretty deep. And look at that's in water too, right? And obviously water significant to you, right? Yeah, that's pretty deep. Let me see. Mentor, teach the youth, right? Maybe you have kids that you're really trying to teach, right? Because you understand that whether it's breaking cycles, with like maybe you're really on some let's change the world kind of stuff, right? Or at least breaking generational curses and traumas for your own bloodline, right? Holy crap. That thing just flew. Yeah. Yeah, wow. Wow, look at what foul. The devil in reverse. This is literally how I picked it up. The devil in reverse and celebration. Wow. So yeah, breaking maybe curses, right? Making breaking generational curses. Celebration. That's pretty amazing. I like that. See. Wow, yeah, maybe it's been a long road, right? Really trying to create something new, right? Maybe you're creating generational wealth, right? For something. I remember I interviewed someone that was like, I don't know if they were part of like helping create this library or something back in their home country for the youth or something like that. I don't know. I don't think they were a Scorpio, but that's kind of what it reminded me of something, creating something for the next generations, whether your own bloodline or others, right? But nine, right? So maybe it's been a hard journey, but wow. Yeah, you made it. And look at that. From nine to the sun, 19, which adds up to 10, right? Like you made it. It feels like that's amazing. Felt super thirsty right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just that. Like it's been a lot of work. Wow, look at that. Man, you can't even make that up. 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, you're probably definitely on that path to create, a lot of generational wealth for your family, for yourself, even while you're still here. But it's more for you, it feels like it's more about that, like what you're leaving behind for others, like legacy, all that stuff. Mentor, teach the youth, right? Because you see like the merging of the ancient with the new, right? Behind you could see the futuristic looking city, but you see like and the fact that it's in the water, right? The ancient calendar even. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Yeah. So maybe right now you are like in this fiery kind of King of Wands energy, right? You're just like go, go, go. You have all that fire in you right now. You know exactly where you want to go. There's no mistake. Look at the little lizard. Right? Lizards, a lot of time, maybe it's almost feels like things are luckily lining up, right? They say a handful of luck is worth more than a lifetime of wisdom sometimes. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, I don't think that's the case, right? I feel like you're definitely knowledgeable, but maybe there's both luck and knowledge working for you right now. Okay, so what else? For Scorpio, what else for Scorpio? Wow, Uranus. Revolution. Yeah, wow. Maybe it feels, yeah, maybe you've been affected by things going on in the world and you just, right? It sparks something in you. Revolution, right? You're one of those people that, you're not just gonna sit around and like you're gonna change the world, right? Or you're gonna help with whatever way you can. Breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening, technology, innovation. See, technology, just like in the first card, innovation, humanitarianism, right? Mentoring the youth, helping. Reform, surprise, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected, rupture, edge, diversity, lightning. Wow, Uranus, you're killing off the flies. Mentoring the youth. Wow, that's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so on that note, oh, I didn't pull one of these. I already feel like I need to because your reading was just so to the point. Wow. Yeah, I feel like nothing. Like you're just so focused. This must be a lesson, but it's like not everyone is sent to teach you a lesson. Some people are just dumb. So maybe you've already realized that. You're like, I got things to do, right? I'm not dealing with this BS, right? Look at even the spirit guides are like, but I feel like you already know that. Like that's why you're so focused because you're not dealing with stupid people right now, right? You're like, this person is just dumb. Let me just keep, you know? Because that's easy. Imagine, like, not easy, but I'm saying knowing that you're doing something and it's not just for you. Because that's the problem, right? When people, it's all about themselves. And sometimes at one point they'll hit that wall when they're like, well, why am I even doing this, right? I don't feel passionate anymore. I don't this or that. So it's easy to, okay, I'm not going to do it. But when you know that you're doing it for someone else, right? You're doing it for the future. You're doing it for the youth, right? You're leaving behind something and nothing has to do with, at the end of the day, it's not about you, right? That's why it's easier to focus and be like, you know what? I know exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing and nothing's going to stop me, especially not dumb, dumb people, right? Like stupid people, dumb people. So I love it. I love it, Scorpio. Okay. Four, right? So maybe you're November 4th. Maybe you're November 5th. Maybe you're November 9th, right? Maybe you're 54. Maybe you're 45. So one of those might be significant. And okay, thank you on that note. Um, Sagittarius. Yeah, I really like that reading. So thank you. Yeah, for that was really inspirational, right? Whatever Scorpio related to that energy that you're on that mission on that path, that was very inspiring. So yeah. So Sagittarius. Wow. Okay, Sagittarius. A choice. I don't know. This came out for you last time. I know this came out for somebody. A choice, right? There's a choice to be made, right? Similar to like the Lover's card. A choice, right? I think whoever that came out for last time, that literally came out too. I think it was like the choice card, and then the Lovers came out, right? So Sagittarius, a choice. Sagittarius, a choice. Man, I'm so wow, yeah. I feel like that's it. A cycle was ended, right? Success, guarantee success. Wow, maybe even moving to a different place. King of Pentacles, I feel like this is you, like 100%. Logros, right? You're accomplishing things that maybe others didn't think you could accomplish. But I feel like you already made the choice. The fact that the world came out with this King of Pentacles, I feel like the choice was already made. So this week is probably all about stepping into that, right? Maybe that was the focus for the Lionsgate. You were just like, hey, I know exactly what the choice is. Look at death. Yeah. The choice was made. I don't think there's any going back with the choice and the world. The choice, the world, death. I feel like, yeah, you're a whole nother person. Maybe people aren't even gonna recognize you. Maybe when people see you like this, like in that King of Pentacles, it's gonna be like, what? Like, I don't even know you anymore, right? I like it a lot. Sagittarius, a choice was made. Yeah. So I think that Lionsgate thing for you was all about that choice, right? Maybe, yeah, you decide I don't need closure with nothing. I don't need anything. I'm just gonna eat some chocolate. Boom, the end. That was it, right? Like just going forward, you know? And I think that, right? Regardless, because it kind of looked like it flipped upside. I mean, these I never read reversals with this deck because it doesn't, right? But just make sure you have your boundaries up. Don't go backwards. I don't think you can really with the world and all that and death. And this is sacred space. Boundaries aren't mean, they're spiritual fences. So it's just boundaries, you know? So yeah, I think that's amazing. What else? This and then that's it. Okay, so Sagittarius. Allowing, yeah, maybe you finally just allowed for the spirit world to work for you because they wanted to work for you anyways. Encourages, sees the potential and clarifies, gives hope to, compensates and intuits, tempers. I don't know why insults. Maybe you insulted someone. Intuits, tempers, response cycles, grows, realizes rewards, right? Semi sextile allowing. Yeah, so maybe you finally just allow things to flow the way they were supposed to flow. So let me see. We got 5, December 5th, maybe. December 1st, December 6th, right? Maybe you're 51, maybe you're 15 year olds aren't watching any kind of readings, but I'm sure there are some that do, right? So anyways, I think that's it. Sagittarius, yours was to the point, right? Something ended, you made a choice. I don't think there's really any going back. I think even in the other, right, 14 is the Temperance Angel, which is Sagittarius energy. So I think you came out in this whether, right? Whether we realized it or not, you were in here. So I love it. Okay. I don't really feel like there's anything else to say with that. So thank you for keeping it short and sweet. All right, so now on that note, Capricorn. Wow, I got chills already. Like my crown tickled with that. Let me see. Wow, Capricorn. Maybe you're in this creator energy right now. It's like, what do you want to build, right? What do you want to create? I don't think there's any bigger compliment than that. My throat did get tight though, so I don't know what that means. Capricorn, right? Cause yeah, zero is like the fool, right? Like a new journey. What do you want to create though, right? It's a little more powerful than maybe you had dreams recently, right? Healing is not a competitive sport. I don't know if you were in the process of healing and they're just reminding you that, if you're going through that, or maybe you're, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Capricorn's gonna be pretty. Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe you just ended something, right? And it's okay, right? As you begin this new journey, maybe you thought someone was your twin flame. He ain't your twin flame. He's your cautionary tale. Or she ain't your twin flame. She's your cautionary tale, right? All the red flags that you missed. And maybe now, maybe you're still, I hope not, right? I hope you're not watching. If you stepped away from somebody, I hope you're not watching them on social media, seeing who's healing faster and all that weird stuff, right? I think that's what it's clear. That's not what it's about, right? If you are, then I'm sure that'll eventually lead to some kind of tower moment because that's just what happens. Okay, so wow, Libra, yeah, maybe it's a good time to step into some of that Libra energy, the idealist. Harmonious, cooperative, balanced, socially aware, artistic, people pleasing, fair, idealistic, aesthetic, choosy, aspirational, geometric, graceful, considerate, obliging, indecisive, judgmental, flattering. So maybe right now there's like it's being asked for you to find a little bit of balance, right? I don't know what they wanted to idealist. Why did that jump out at me? Maybe you're meant to right now. Yeah, that creator energy. Maybe you're meant to come up with ideas right now. Stop worrying about what. Wow. These both kind of came out in reverse. Why? Let me see. The weird energy right now with you. Like it doesn't, that's why I think you're being asked to step into the, yeah, yep, there it goes. So a hangman, right? Like maybe you're in that hangman mode. You haven't seen that light bulb moment, right? About what you're supposed to be creating, because maybe you're on that right now. You're watching whoever you walked away from or something. There's that energy where some people will get competitive about that, right? Like, yeah, it's whatever weird psychological think it is, but this came out in reverse, so obviously, right, it's just more confirmation that there was some kind of split from someone maybe you thought was your twin flame or your soulmate or this is your divine partner and it didn't work out like that and now you're probably watching each other's social media or some weird stuff, right? Comparing, right? But yeah, that's never gonna be a good thing, right? You're not even making plans, you're not even looking to the future. You're so concerned with see, a lot of times they'll tell you to live in the moment, right? Focus on the moment, but right now it's more like you should be planning for your future. You should be focused on where you're going instead of looking, right? Like the creator, what do you want to create? Right now, there's a lot of potent energy with that creating energy, right? And you're not taking advantage of it because yeah, if you separate it from someone, you're more concerned with what they're doing. Wow, yeah, see? A choice, right? I think, like, yeah, there's so much of this whatever relationship this was, it doesn't seem like it worked out at all, right? So whatever it is, I think you need to go into a hermit mode before you miss an opportunity, right? To create something in which is really weird. My whole left gut lit up, which is intuitive. Maybe you're supposed to tap into your feminine energy, your intuitive side right now, and you're not doing that. You're like all up in the like masculine energy of I don't know. There's a lot of imbalance right now that I'm feeling. I think that's why Libra came out, right? There was something Libra just jumped out, boom. So okay, let me see. Yeah. So I'll say just you have an amazing opportunity right now, right, with this creator energy, but whatever Capricorn's energy I'm tapping into is not so that's why you need to go into that hermit mode, right? Look at what came out. The hermit, the hangman, right? So a lot of like, hey, see the light bulb, see that light, right? Let it making a choice, right? Because whatever partnership you were in is done. So just make that choice so you could get it psychologically or something. I don't know. I think I had already rolled the dice, but I forgot. So three and three. Okay, 33. Wow, that's amazing. 3-3. So more confirmation to get balanced, right? 3-3. 6, right? Those that six. Um, so you could be January 3rd, January 6th, right? You could be 33. That might be significant. Master teacher. Maybe you're meant to be a master teacher, but you're just not focusing at this moment, right? Maybe it'll click, right? Hopefully. Yeah. With that light bulb, the hermit, Libra. So yeah. I think it's just that whoever you're in competition with right now, once you like compete with yourself, I guess, to better yourself and forget about that, I think things will begin to move forward for you. So okay, Capricorn, Aquarius, right? Okay, Aquarius and then Pisces, and that's it. Okay, Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. I still gotta finish because I had done a few readings for each individual sign, and I have to finish those. The love or lust readings. Okay. So for Aquarius, you got 17, the unicorn trust, right? So right now, I think you're meant to trust, right? But not just trust, but trust in the otherworldly, the magical, right? Trust in the magic, right? 17, which adds up to 8, right? The one and the 7 is 8. The unicorn trust, trust, trust. Excuse me. Trust, trust, trust. Wow, yeah. I don't know what's up with this. Maybe you're not as in a soul contract, you're just in denial. So what is up with that, Aquarius? Were you feeling like you were in a soul contract with someone and they're over here telling you that no, that's not what that was? That's not what that was. Okay, soul contract. Wow, okay, I don't know. There's something, right? There was a lot of red flags about something that you just didn't get. I don't know. Maybe you thought everything was a sign and or a message. So yeah, maybe for you too, right? Like whatever other sign I got, that it was like, hey, maybe you need to take a break from all the right. If you read, because it's funny, I never noticed that before. The little daily horoscope thing in the back. Maybe right now is for you. It's all about tapping in directly. Maybe you don't need to watch readings or anything, right? Maybe you need to tap in, trust the magic, right? Maybe they're talking to you right now. The animals, like for me, it was interesting. Like I was driving and I think I came to, oh no, no, before I even left, I think I was in my driveway and a dragonfly just came and was flying right next to my door as I had the door open and it was just flying next to me. And I was like, okay, you're really trying to get my attention. Little dragonfly, right? And then, yeah, I was seeing so many dragonflies that day. So maybe, right, wow. So I think maybe with work, right? There's a lot of prosperity that or success you're gonna have with work, and then you'll be able to help others. Is what I'm getting. I feel like this Lionsgate, what I'm getting now, because that's kind of what I wanted to see. What was the general consensus like during this Lionsgate? I feel like there were unions breaking and new unions. Wow, see, you're meant to be in this kind of Empress energy, just receiving, right? But I think because of whatever, yeah, see, we were meant to like, if we were attached to people, because that was probably slowing a lot of people down, right? Being in the wrong connections will affect your finances, will affect your like everything, right? So I feel like during this time, a lot of people were meant to come out of partnerships, and then a lot are meant to find that divine union, right? That's kind of the consensus I'm getting. I don't know why right now that's so important. Like unions, look at as I'm saying that, bam. 4-1. See, you can't make that stuff up. So I had the light bulb moment now because that was kind of the main reason I was doing this reading tonight of all the signs because I wanted to see, okay, what else after this Lionsgate now going into this next week, what was the main kind of consensus, right? And now I see what it was. So I think there was a lot of unions finally, like the nails in the coffin, right? Coming to complete ends and then new unions beginning. So yeah, look at wow. Can't make that stuff up. Look at there it is again. Right? Like a union almost looks like, right? Like dedication, work, compromiso is compromises, right? So that's pretty interesting. I like that. Okay. So yeah, see, walking away from one thing, right? and either walking towards your sun, right? Or you walk away from something and from the moon, right? You're walking away from the moon, the illusions, and walking away towards brighter days, sunshine, all that good stuff, right? 10. 1 and 9 is 10. So yeah, I feel like that's what happened with you, Aquarius. Whatever kind of partnership you were in, all that good stuff, right? That's pretty crazy. Okay. So what else? Yeah, okay. I don't know. That's so funny. Now I get it. Wow, North Node destiny. See, you're walking towards your what you were meant to do. Soul school, learning curve, fulfillment, purpose, maturing, experience, fruition, North Star process, development, practice, path, beacon, blossoming, becoming, integrity, journey. Yeah, destiny, North Node. So that's what this whole journey was about. But I don't know why this reading, Aquarius. Wow, yeah, the age of Aquarius. That's funny that this light bulb moment just happened while I'm doing the Aquarius reading. And yeah, this whole age of Aquarius situation that we're in now, right? I think that that's kind of like the big aha moment for this whole reading, right? Even though I have one more sign to do, that's pretty amazing that that just hit. So let's see what numbers come out for you. Maybe more people have to come into that north node, right? The learning of their north node. So we got 5 and 2, right? So 2 and then 5 had came out, which is 7, right? The divine number. So 25 might be significant, 52. Maybe you're February 2, February 5th, February 7th, right? Maybe 27 is important. So yeah, okay, on that note, thank you, Aquarius. That was very interesting, very insightful. And yeah, wow. Wow, it's pretty amazing. So let me see. Last but not least, Pisces. Let me see what wants to come out for Pisces. Wow, ceremony. Maybe right now you're kind of going through some kind of initiation. Oh, absolutely. I forgot. So you're in Aquarius. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for listening, Jocelyn. Appreciate it. 22 Pisces, right? Ceremony. Maybe right now you're literally having a ceremony or going through, right? You're gonna go into a ceremony, right? Or they're asking you to. 22, right? 22 is also a master number. So, oh, and water, right? There you are, right? You're Pisces, right? In the water, right? So maybe you've met a shaman, medicine man, medicine woman, right? That maybe it's almost like you're in some kind of school of learning more, right? Tapping more into your spiritual gifts. Okay, that's interesting. Wow, okay. So if wow, I got chills. So yeah, wow. Pisces, you might have been dealing with something very heavy. At first, I thought like, okay, are you auto-sabotaging? And it still could be that for some of you Pisces, but right, you had this, right? The win at all cost type energy. But then man, I feel like a big old like my eyes just started like if someone punched like someone punching you in the eye kind of thing, right? So hopefully you didn't get hit, assaulted by someone, Pisces, right? So 3 of swords, 5 of swords, 7 of swords, a lot of sword, right? So a lot of energy. We got Libra, Aquarius, right? The sneaky lies, right? This card is crazy. And it feels like you had to literally, yeah. And look at this is 22, which adds up to 4. And there's that 4, right? Maybe that ceremony is necessary for you to get balanced again, right? For you like to have a little death and rebirth kind of thing. Truce, right? Like enough of the fighting. Maybe, yeah, whoever you were fighting with, it was like exhausting, right? I hope it didn't get violent because I'm telling you, it went away already. But literally, when I was getting these cards, it felt like someone punched me in the eye, right? I don't know if there's a significance to maybe they were attacking your feminine, right? The left is the feminine side. So it was the left eye that all of a sudden felt like something punched me. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe something it almost feels like a tower moment. Like wow, see, you're having to have strength right now. Man, this is crazy. I'm mad to feel that with any other sign, right? Like something, whoa, see? Man, this stuff came out in reverse, both of them. The Ace of Wands, see? So it's almost like there's a standstill. Like you're meant to shine, right? Like the star came out in reverse. Like maybe this situation, and that's Aquarius energy too. Maybe that situation has really cost you. Like you should be boom, right? Flying towards being that shining star, right? Whether like in your life, but obviously then you inspire others, right? Being that star. So whatever situation this is, it's almost like you have to. It was so heavy, you have to go to a ceremony just to get rid of all that energy. You know, maybe it was that, right? Like so many people depended on you to fix them, and then when you don't, the day that you can't do something for them, it's like, damn, I don't know. Even a kid, I mean, there's kids that assault their parents nowadays when they don't get their way, right? Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy. You are not everyone's emotional support wizard. I don't know what like energy I'm tapping into here, but it's definitely heavy. I don't appreciate feeling like I'm getting punched in the eye with this either, right? Which hey, I feel for you if that's literally what happened to you. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, Jupiter. Expansion. See, I think this is supposed to be the time for you to, right? I know someone, my friend that's the super astrologer, like she told me something Jupiter right now and expansion and all this stuff. So maybe you're in that energy too, and you're just, right? Like you're going through something heavy, and maybe the way to fully let it go is like you need to do a ceremony. It's like when people do cord cutting ceremonies and they have to visualize it and see it and experience it to put it in their head, like, okay, there, I cut the cords. You know what I mean? So do a ceremony of you. Oh, look at the dice came out, right? So I don't even need to roll them now. We got 4, 4, right? We got 5, 5, 5, the number of change, 6, 6, enthusiasm, optimism, generosity, benevolence, beliefs, luck, seeking, travel, positivity, lectures, foreign cultures, teaching, pilgrimage, chance, expansion, leaping, exploration, potential. So yeah, I would say just do it. And look, I'll give this an honorable mention since I know whatever you're going through, right? But healing, right? So take that time to heal. I would say try to find someone that could help you do a healing ceremony or a releasing ceremony, right? Maybe just yourself. If you don't have anyone, go dip yourself in water, right? But set that intention to like, okay, as I dip myself in this water, I'm releasing all these things. Talk to the water, ask it to cleanse you of all the bad energies and traumas, right? Like water's powerful. We're all made of water and it'll listen, right? It'll help you. It's it's alive, right? The water's alive because we're alive. We wouldn't be alive without water. So clearly, if you don't think water is alive, healing powers growth, a man's release, personal development, inherited issues, self-doubt, generational trauma, shame, sensitivity, forgiveness, superpowers, divinity, cleansing, softness, pain. I feel like that, right? Like maybe someone shamed you for being sensitive and there's superpowers in being sensitive, right? So Let me see. I think that's it. Let me see. One and three, so four. Yeah, interesting, right? Maybe you're one and three. Maybe you're March 13th, March 1st, March 4th, March. What did I say? March 1st, March 3rd, March 4th, March 13th. One of those, right? So, yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks again, Jocelyn. Oh wow. Okay. 28-1. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, Jocelyn. Glad it resonated, and thank you to anybody that watches this later. I'm gonna do the other readings that I haven't done because I haven't had time, right? I was working so much. And so yeah, I wanted to just do this one for this week. I know that I did it at a later time than I usually do it. So anybody that watches this after, usually I do it early in the mornings, right? But tonight I was just like, you know what, I have time and I wanted to do reading. So thank you so much for tuning in, and to anybody that watches after. And yeah, hopefully you